You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
We're talking fats, we're talking fatty hormones, we're talking the skin. And when it comes to fats, when it comes to how we treat fats, how we utilize fats, and their fundamental importance when it comes to the disease process, it is so tragic that we misunderstand fats in food. When I was growing up in the 60s and 70s and 80s, everybody was fascinated with this low-fat fad. Everything was about fat, low fat. Today it's not as bad, but still you have people who don't understand the nature of fats and the difference between good fats and bad fats. When I say people, I'm talking largely, or in large part, the medical model, representatives of the medical model, who still are confused about the idea of good fat, about the nature of good fat. So you got different kinds of fats. The fats that most of us ingest on a regular basis, dietary fats, are called triglycerides. You've all heard that term, triglycerides. A triglyceride is really a very simple concept. Tri means three, and glyceride means glycerin. And a triglyceride is just a combination of glycerin and fat. Triglycerides. It's got three elements of fat for every one element of glycerin. Glycerin is the same stuff that you see in your skincare products and in soaps, and also in processed foods. Glycerin's sweet. Smoked meats will have glycerin. Condensed milk sometimes has glycerin in it. Frozen desserts oftentimes will have glycerin in it. So in a triglyceride, the glycerin is combined with three pieces of fat, triglyceride. And the fats are going to have names like stearic acid, palmitic acid, linoleic acid. They're called fatty acids. They're called long-chain fatty acids, as opposed to the short-chain fatty acids that are so important for your digestive system. They're found in butter and vinegar and fermented foods. And as opposed to medium triglycerides that are found in coconut oil. They're so important for your brain and for the ketogenic diet and for the blood sugar system. Long-chain fatty acids play their own role. So you have to remember three kinds of fats, or three sizes of fatty acids: the short, the medium, and the long. Shorter for the digestive system play an important role in digestive health. The medium ones play an important role in brain health and in the blood sugar system. And then the long ones play an important role in structure and in hormones. The long ones play important roles in structure and hormones and also energy storage. Triglycerides are found everywhere in nature, and the long-chain fats are found everywhere in nature. They're super cheap, and they have lots of consumer applications. Everything from furniture polish to pill manufacturing to nasty chemicals like insecticides and fertilizers and lubricating oils and vaccines and rubber manufacturing, paints and varnishes. These are all consumer products that depend on fatty acids, and they're especially useful in the skincare business. In fact, we wouldn't even have a skincare business without these long-chain fats. These long-chain fats that are attached to glycerin are the fundamental element of the modern skincare product. The skincare company was actually born, or the skincare business was actually born out of the modern skincare business, I should say, was born out of the need to use these fats. There was all of these fats that were in abundance because we used to use them for candle burning, and we used to use them for basically for light is what they basically used them for back in the 18th century and the 19th century, the early 19th century. They were used to make candles. And also lard too, also to eat. But when we switched over to vegetable oil, there was all this excess fat sitting around, and they didn't know what to do with all that fat. They didn't know what to do with all that triglyceride, and they started mixing the fats up with all the oil, not the triglycerides, but the fatty acids with oil and water and emulsifiers, and they invented the modern skin cream. To this day, I think it's what's the name of that? Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble is located in Cincinnati because that's where all the pig farms were. So anyway, you got two of these long-chain fats that are super-duper important. They're so important we call them essential. One's called LA, the other's called ALA, but the take-home message is they're like vitamins. They're essential nutrients, and they're nothing more than fats that are attached to a glycerin molecule that you get in seeds mostly, sometimes in grains, grasses, we talked about them. They store energy. They're part of the cell structure, these essential fats. They're oxygen magnets. That's one of the most important roles they play. They attract oxygen to cells. This is why when you don't eat these essential fatty acids and you eat lots of processed fats, trans fats, hydrogenated fats, and your body starts to make cells out of hydrogenated fats instead of the EFAs that are deficient, oxygen does not get attracted to cells. We know cancer is an oxygen issue, a problem with lack of oxygen. This is how trans fatty acids and hydrogenated fatty acids, when we eat too much of them, are linked to cancer. In fact, they're linked to pretty much every chronic health issue via this mechanism, where the body tries to stick the synthetic processed fats into a cell. Remember, all disease is cell disease, and anything that distorts a cell, that changes the shape of a cell, it can't help but lead to the disease state. Still, the most fundamental, the most important role when it comes to health for the EFAs is not ALA and LA, these essential fatty acids, is not in the structure of the cell, although that's pretty darn important, but it's in how these EFAs control inflammation and anti-inflammation. They are the molecules of inflammation, and they're the molecules of anti-inflammation. When they're out of balance, the inflammatory and anti-inflammatory balance is thrown off as well. EFAs do both. They turn on inflammation, which is a good thing in the case of trauma or wounding. Inflammation is part of the body's protective response, and they're also anti-inflammatory. EFAs are your natural Motrin. They're natural naproxen. They're natural anti-inflammatories. Omega-3s are natural anti-inflammatories. That's how fish oil works. That's how flaxseed oil works to quench inflammation. They get turned into they are the molecules of anti-inflammation and inflammation. Inflammation is the key point to understand, folks, when it comes to all health challenges. Whether you're talking chronic health challenges or acute mechanical health challenges, it's always going to be about inflammation. If you break a bone, you're going to be dealing with macroinflammation. Or if you have an infection, maybe, you'll have macroinflammation. But if you have long-term assault on the body, you're going to end up with microinflammation that is chronic and progressive, occurring over and over and over again. And it will start off invisibly, and then it will work its way up to a full-blown degenerative disease. It'll work its way up to arthritis, and you'll be like, oh my God, I was sitting here watching TV, and all of a sudden I got arthritis. And you're not going to know it because the microinflammation builds up chronically, progressively over the course of years and decades. And every single chronic degenerative disease, every single one of them is preceded by it. So doesn't it make sense to try to figure this thing out? All right, we'll take a break and come back with more good health information right after this. Don't go away.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria, which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
Attention citizens. This man has received national attention for accurately predicting every major financial trend, including the market crash of 2008. His name is Harry Dent. And in his newly released book, he is making even bigger and bolder predictions that have the potential to devastate the world economy and your personal wealth. You can get a free copy of Harry Dent's bestseller, The Demographic Cliff, containing never-before-published information by simply visiting www.harrydentresearch.com. Again, that's www.harrydentresearch.com.
Okay, so it's all about inflammation, and inflammation at least partially involves essential fatty acids when we're talking chronic degenerative diseases. That means for all chronic degenerative diseases, think ultimate EFAs. Now, also you need, of course, to be able to process your EFAs, and that means you got to work on intestinal health. There's a really cool and interesting and underappreciated relationship between the microbiome and fats. One of the jobs of the bacteria that live in the gut that are called the microbiome, that we have only really understood over the last 20 or 25 years, since the early 1990s, that's when all of the studies on probiotics and the microbiome really began in earnest. As it turns out, these bacteria, this universe of bacteria, is critical for helping the body process fats. And this is one of the major reasons why when we have a messed up digestive system, we're bound to have problems with our fats. One of the reasons. So it's not just taking in your ultimate EFAs, as important as that is. You got to make sure you're processing them, and that means probiotics, the nightly essence, fermented foods. It also means digestive enzymes, like your ultimate enzymes. And it also means apple cider vinegar as well for activating some of these enzymes. There's all kinds of strategies, not that aren't specifically nutritional strategies, but they help the body utilize nutritional strategies, specifically things we can do for our digestive system. In fact, that's comes as no surprise to anybody who's been listening to this program for any length of time. I'm not beating anybody up about food, but the fact is that at the root of all chronic degenerative disease, in terms of our triangle, you've got a breakdown in the digestive system, and we talk about it all the time. But repetition is reinforcement. Whenever disease shows up, it always follows a progressive breakdown of the digestive system first, the blood sugar system next, and the adrenal thyroid complex third. And all health challenges proceed from that point. And your doctor will say your Alzheimer's is incurable because he doesn't know about the triangle of disease. He needs to listen to this program because nobody talks about it. So he'll say your Alzheimer's is irreversible, or he'll say it's idiopathic. We don't know what causes it. Or he'll look for some kind of enzyme that's building up in the brain. I saw a commercial, or I saw an one of those internet commercial things that I get. You guys probably get them all the time. Content marketing, they call it, where they give you a little video about the latest cure, the magical cure for disease. This one's on Alzheimer's. It has first thing you see on this video is a guy with a gun shooting it, implying that you're going to kill the Alzheimer's disease. Not the patient, hopefully, but the disease. Well, you don't need to kill Alzheimer's disease. This particular video is about an enzyme called STEP, S-T-E-P, or an enzyme that helps, that causes the buildup of this step. Well, step's the enzyme, I think. In any case, this chemical step builds up in the brain when you have Alzheimer's disease. So the commercial sells you a book and some supplements that help you reduce the enzyme. You don't need to reduce the enzyme. You need to figure out, why is the body inflaming? What is the toxicity that's getting into the system? You don't need magical remedies. We don't need to kill disease. It's a subtle point, but it's an important point. We don't want to look at disease as being some invader that came into the body. That disempowers us. That takes our ability and our ability to control our biochemistry away from us. It says that we've just been invaded by some outside entity. When we understand that we're the outside entity, in the sense that we're the ones putting the stuff into the body, for the most part, it puts power back in our hands. And that's really what this is about. It isn't about beating anybody up. It's about taking the power back. The triangle of disease, once we understand it, takes the power back from the medical model and puts it in our hands. The medical model will do everything it can do every day to further entrench itself, to lock itself into our lives. But we don't need it once we understand how this whole thing happens. So the triangle of disease, the 3 points of disease, work their nasty magic, their black magic, in destroying the body through inflammation. And inflammation is a defensive response. That's the key right there, folks. Inflammation is a defensive response. Inflammation is a protective response. It's, by definition, when the inflammatory process is running amok, something is attacking the body, by definition. And then it goes into a vicious spiral, because over time, as the defensive response becomes chronic, it's not supposed to be chronic, it's not supposed to go on every day of our lives, every hour of our lives. When it's chronic, you get pockets of cell death, because nutrients can't get through the inflammatory buildup. Inflammation really means fibers and fluids, and a beaver's dam, I like to call it. So on the other side of the beaver's dam, you got pockets of death. And death leads to more inflammation. In fact, this is one of the most important articles I've ever downloaded. I got this yesterday, and I was such an important article. Headline, this is from the journal Nature Immunology. Headline: dying cells regulate the immune system. Technically dying epithelial cells, but all cells. Dying epithelial cells regulate the immune system. This is the headline. Oh, the second part, this finding could aid treatment of inflammatory and allergic diseases. In other words, they're going to find drugs for this. But you don't need drugs. What is causing the cells to die is the inflammation, and this is where the downward spiral begins. You get cells that are dying, you get an inflammatory process to block those cells off. You get more cells dying because nothing can get through the inflammatory wall, and this whole thing leads to the downward spiral we call inflammatory disease. And it all starts from the triangle of disease, and the mediator is the blood. That's where dirty blood comes in. Between all of these major ideas, the triangle of disease, inflammation, and the inflammatory response, and dirty blood, and finally all disease is cell disease, you got everything you need to know about how the body breaks down and why we get sick. And none of it requires a doctor. None of it requires a drug. In fact, drugs are only going to make it worse. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back with your phone calls on the bright side right after this. Don't go away. Perhaps you saw this article from JAMA or heard about this article from JAMA. Proton pump inhibitors may be associated with increased risk of dementia. So-called proton pump inhibitors are the latest craze when it comes to heartburn drugs, PPI drugs. They're the most popular heartburn drugs. How do they work? They suppress the digestive acids. They suppress the production of digestive juices. Now, if digestive juices if there's juices in the digestive system to help you process food, what do you think is going to happen if you suppress the production of these juices? Of course, you're going to run into problems with nutrient absorption. It can't help but happen. Surprise, surprise. It's been known since these proton pump inhibitors came out that low levels of magnesium, low levels of iron, low levels of B12 are associated with these kinds of drugs. But it's just common sense. You don't need a study to tell you any of this stuff. The fact is, Losec, Prilosec, Prevacid. There's a whole bunch of them now. They can't help but cause problems with nutrient absorption, and ultimately you're going to have risks of things like dementia. Dementia is not a weird enzyme, some weird thing that's getting into your system. It's just a way the body breaks down, except it's breaking down in the brain. Here's another one. Delirium, muscle weakness among overlooked symptoms of sepsis. What is sepsis? Dirty blood. So, delirium, it counts as a symptom of Alzheimer's disease, results from sepsis, from dirty blood. You see, these things happen. These common mechanisms are behind everything. Muscle weakness also, among overlooked symptoms of sepsis. Here's another good one. Lipid-based diets effectively combat Alzheimer's disease. Where have you heard that before? That's from the journal Current Alzheimer's Research yesterday. Lipid-based diets, fatty diets, fat in your diet. Coconut oil, good fats, avocado, butter. All right. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to Pam in California. Welcome to the bright side, Pam. What's going on?
Hi. Good morning, Ben. It's really good to speak with you. And
thank you.
I've been listening to you for a long time. But,
oh, nice.
But what I'm calling about is to get your opinion on maybe a course of action. What this is, and this has been going on for 8 to 10 years, the muscles in my left eye have started to turn inward, and I am not, and it started out intermittently, and what it manifests is double vision. If I try to look with both eyes, the vision individually in each eye is okay because I close one eye and I can see just as well with the left eye as I can with the right eye.
Yeah, but still, you don't want to have to mess around that way. It sounds like the muscles are getting weak is what's happening.
Right.
And they're not holding the eye in place. That's basically, with all due respect, you're breaking down.
I know that.
Okay, so we got to turn that equation around. We got to turn that arrow around. So you're building up instead of breaking down.
MRI and all that
Forget it. I don't need to hear any of that stuff. You're breaking down. That's what I'm telling you. This is the simplicity of this. Now, I said simple, but not necessarily easy, because you're going to have to do a lot of things. Now, your goal should be to get stronger and stronger and stronger over time. And when I say you get stronger, I'm not just talking about your eyes. I'm talking about all of your muscles. Your muscles are part of the musculoskeletal system, which is a kind of a blend of two types of tissue. That tissue's breaking down.
Very quickly.
Well, let me just say one last thing, and then I'll let you continue.
With cortisol, because I've had 12 years of unending stress taking care of.
Well, of course, you're joining the club. You know what? George Carlin used to say this. He used to go like this. I told Chuck, I said, "Oh, you don't like your job? Well, there's a support group for that. It's called Everyone, and they meet at the bar." And it's the same thing. You got cortisol. Everybody's got cortisol. We live in this crazy, stressful world. So yes, you're absolutely correct. Cortisol is going to be involved. So relaxation techniques, we don't talk about them a lot. I do mention them periodically, but we don't talk about them a lot, but they're very important. Lowering your cortisol is critical because under conditions of elevated cortisol, your body's not going to repair. It's not going to build. Muscle, like everything else, is constantly breaking down and building up, breaking down and building up. If you're not building up, you're going to break down without building up. That's not a good thing. And that happens. That's the aging process. So number one is you're going to always, first of all, you want to, like you say, relax the body and lower the cortisol. Easier said than done. I understand this, but it's worth it. There's visualization techniques, there's meditation techniques, there's deep breathing techniques, there's hot tubs and hot water. There's many, many ways to relax the body. And it's very important that you do that. And don't underestimate its importance for helping with reverse the symptomology of degenerative disease. Oxygen is also very important. I'm going to tell you stuff, but I don't want you to think that it's in that, it's more important. The things I say first are more important. You got to do all these things.
Would you address vision therapy? Because I did.
Yes, muscles. You can work on the vision muscles. I'm going to tell you that. But let me tell you, if you're degenerating, it's not going to help you. It's going to make matters worse, actually. So we got to get that taken care of first. Look for digestive symptoms, correct those. Use the Fuchs Z and bone soup. Bone soup for all degenerative issues. It's a source of muscle-building raw material and connective tissue-building raw material. You get that? Liquid, no less. So it goes right to work. Bone soup. And always put a little vinegar in your bone soup to release the nutrients from that cartilage. High hyaluronic acid supplements can help you. Silica liquid silica gel supplements can help you. Vitamin C turns the whole thing on, so make sure you're getting your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Your Ultimate EFAs, very important for anti-inflammatory effects, because under conditions of inflammation, you're not going to repair. That's the omega-3 fats, which, by the way, are particularly important for the eyes, if not necessarily the connective tissue of the eyes themselves. Vitamin E, also very important when we talk about the eyes and eye health. If you have any blood sugar issues, and almost guaranteed you do the whole blood sugar diet, if you will, the anti-diabetes diet. That means low carbs, high coconut oil and protein, and nutrients that help your body process those carbs. Pam, you got a million different ways that you could do this. I just listed 20 different strategies.
May I say though, I have been doing all of that. Believe me, I've been doing Dr. Wallace for 15 years.
I can believe you, Pam. Listen, I don't think you're dishonest. I don't think you're lying to me. I'm just telling. But where there's smoke, there's fire, sweetheart. You know, you could do all you're doing to make your house fireproof, and then you smell smoke and you go, well, I took care of my drywall, I took care of my fireproofing. It can't, I'm doing everything. No, it doesn't matter. There's smoke, so there's fire. You know what I mean?
The whole bit, the enzymes, the this, the that, and
you're missing something. If I was with you and I could follow you around, I would tell you it's probably in your foods, in something with your foods. Pam, I'm guessing by your voice you're in your 50s or 60s, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so guaranteed 100% there's something going on in the way you're processing, accumulating energy and assimilating energy from food. That's digestion. That's the first place to look. If you're doing everything, and you say you are, and I have no reason not to believe you, and you're still not getting the results you want, focus on the digestive system first. I'm going to let you go, Pam, but where there's smoke, there's fire. If the body's breaking down, that's the only way it breaks down. There's no magical fairy that's shooting an arrow into you that's causing your body to break down, even though that may be what the medical model will tell you. It's breaking down for the same reason anything else breaks down. All right, sweetheart, I hope I helped you. Thanks so much, Pam.
Thank you.
All right. There's our music. Okay. If I hang tight if you're on hold. All right, we're back on the bright side. John in Michigan. What's going on? Welcome. John in Michigan. John, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, man? How can we help?
One is with chronic fatigue, and I also want to bring up the bit about weaponized microplasma that Professor Don Scott, who's now passed on in 2011, has exposed that is affecting many people, especially women, with many of the conditions that are just diagnosed as either chronic fatigue or the other one that's really popular, the P word, but I can't think of the name right now. But my chronic fatigue, is there something, this mycoplasma attacks the flora in the gut?
Here's the thing, John. That's all sexy and dramatic, and I don't deny. I don't dispute it. It could very well be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if is he saying it was intentional or was accidentally released or the weaponized mycoplasma? What is he saying?
No, it has been
intentional.
Developed by the military.
No, I know, but was it intentionally released into the atmosphere, or is it accidentally released?
Yes, through mosquitoes back early. I think it was in the 90s.
Okay, I'm not, John, I am no Pollyanna about DARPA and the Defense Department and the government. Believe me, trust me, I don't deny any of that stuff. But we can't do anything about it. What you got to do is you work where you can work. And as you pointed out, mycoplasma is a type of living entity that lives in an antagonistic relationship with your natural good bacteria. So it can definitely kill off your good bacteria. So what do you do? Well, first of all, you got to not participate in the lifestyle behaviors that kill off the bacteria to make the problem worse. Drinking chlorinated water makes it worse. Drinking fluoridated water, taking antibiotics, eating antibiotic-laden foods, eating the wrong kinds of foods, high sugar foods. There's all kinds of ways that we, on our own, voluntarily disrupt our microbiome. So you can't do anything about the mycoplasma, the weaponized mycoplasma, if they're there. But what you can do is work on your diet and digestion. And do everything we talk about on this program multiple times every day. Focus on the gut health. Eliminate problem foods. Use fermented foods. Use probiotics. Restrict your intake of sugar and chlorine and antibiotic-laden foods and fluoridated water as well as chlorinated water. There's many, many strategies here. Secondly, make sure you're relaxing the body. Your body recovers under conditions of relaxation. If you're dealing with chronic fatigue issues, chances are really good. It's almost 100% certainty you're in sympathetic overdrive. That is, your body is in major distress. So calming the body down is important. Using relaxation techniques, all the ones we talk about on this program all the time. So yes, your point is well taken, and I understand that I don't know that for a fact, but I certainly don't find it hard to believe. It seems logical to me that could happen. But where we can work is with our voluntary choices, and that involves food, nutritional supplementation, and especially when it comes to gut health. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Professor Don Scott spoke before our Congress back in the late 90s and exposed all of this, too. The reason I bring it up is because doctors cannot find this through their basic blood test in the system because the body does not. It's a stealth pathogen.
Very likely, but that doesn't matter either, John. See, John, I'm here on this program to try to help people. As far as helping people, that doesn't matter. It's interesting, and as a student of history myself, I follow these things. But from a healing perspective, you don't want to go off on that tangent. It's just, not to mention the fact that it's going to put more stress in your life and shut down your parasympathetic and make you more turn on stress chemistry even more significantly.
Because he does state in their articles on the mycoplasma that everyone is carrying it. But the diet, of course, kefir and sauerkraut, I'm having that right now.
Sauerkraut. Love it. Bentonite clay even to help chelate some.
myself, and it's not hard to do, folks. Just make sure it's organic, put it in mason jars, and let it sit for 9 or 10 days. Keep it wet, and it's just wonderful.
Isn't it wonderful and delicious, too? Oh, my God, crunchy and delicious.
Don't cook it. Just eat it like coleslaw.
Good deal. Thank you so much, John. Have a beautiful day, buddy. Thank you.
You too. God bless.
Oh, God bless you, my friend. All right, let's go to Karen in California. What's up? Karen.
Hello.
Hello, Karen. What's going on, Karen?
Hey, Pharmacist Dan. It's good to speak with you. I have my friend, Gwendalin, on a three-way call. She's in St. Louis. I'm in Cali.
Okay. Hi, Gwendalin.
Hi, Dr. Ben.
What's going on? How can we help you?
Okay, I've been on the 3-day SueroViv.
SueroViv cleanse?
Yes, okay. And so I don't know what I'm supposed to be anticipating or looking for, but I haven't had a lot of bowel movement or anything like that. I've been real fatigued. I'm tired.
Good.
But,
That's just rest, just lighten, stay in bed, kind of relax, take a 3-day vacation. Did you say you didn't have a bowel movement after 3 days?
Well, I haven't had a lot.
Are you ordinarily constipated?
Most of the time I take something to keep me flowing. So
okay, but otherwise you would be otherwise you'd be constipated.
Right, if I wasn't flowing all the time.
Okay, your digestive system is still traumatized. Constipation is a sign of a traumatized digestive system. It's just like frozen. It doesn't do anything. It's like a deer in the headlights. It's in shock. And so if you've been chronically in this mode of having this shocked digestive tract or shocked colon where the wrong food has been getting in, it's been getting inflamed and irritated, it may take more than 3 days for you to have a bowel movement. Here's what you want to do, and this will help. Go get a coffee grinder. It costs you $15 or so. If you don't already have one, get a new one. And then get golden organic flax seeds, and then grind up, say, maybe 4 tablespoons of them, mix it up with water, and drink it down, and maybe do it twice a day. Okay? And the flax seeds will take a few days to pass through your digestive tract and get into your colon, so you won't, maybe another day or two before you have a bowel movement. But if you do it twice a day for a couple of days, like 4 doses, guaranteed you're going to have a big bowel movement. Like it'll be a big one, put it that way, with all the flax seeds, okay? And also, by the way, if you're using longevity products, the rainforest products, sometimes that acts as a laxative. But I like the flaxseed technique because then you're getting lots of good oils, you're getting vitamin E, you're getting protein, in addition to being a great laxative. Or stool softener, actually. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
She had the real bad digestive issues on 5 different medications. The rest of the day,
well, you didn't tell me that you're on medication. That's going to clog you up too, sweetheart. Gwendalin?
Right.
What are you on? Do you know the names of the medication?
Okay, I'm on the Lantin,
Okay.
I'm on
Tramadol.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Gwendalin and Karen, you guys, listen, this is more than we can do on a phone call here on the radio. I'm glad to help you. Send me an email, ben@ksco.com, and put your phone number there. And then put in the subject, hey, we talked on the radio. It's way too much it's way too much stuff. You got a lot going on there, especially with the drugs. All right? But do the fiber thing anyway. That'll help you. And send me an email, and I'll call you in the next day or two, okay?
One quick question.
Yes.
So today's her third day on the SueroViv.
Yes.
What should she be doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow when she starts eating again?
Yeah.
Vegetable juice. Vegetable juice. Get a Vitamix, make veggie juice, celery juice. Celery, maybe some cucumber in there. I like a little slice of tomato, but some people have problems with tomatoes, so you have to see. Make vegetable juice, and then gradually start going into solid food. Do vegetable juice as long as you can. It's incredibly filling. Between the fiber and the vegetable juice, you'll be full. Okay? And then gradually go into solid food. But you got too much going on. I'd love to talk to you, but I got too much going on for the radio, okay?
Right,
so send me an email. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, Karl, the Truth Raider, you get the last word. You got about a minute.
Okay, Ben. Good morning. It sounds like that gentleman that was talking to you in the previous call is listening to too much of Alex, I guess.
Does Alex talk about that?
It gets people going, get that parasympathetic nervous system going, and gets people worried.
You know what? The sympathetic nervous system. The fear thing, man. You got to be careful of the fear. It's so easy. The world is set up for us to be afraid, to get afraid very easily. It wants us afraid with viruses and with terrorists and with economic collapse and all the different ways. You know?
Right.
Have you ever on the news? Is every single story on the news is about fear? Right.
It's to cause dis-ease.
Dis-ease.
Yes.
Karl, you're getting this down, man. You nailed it. Good job.
Absolutely.
Truth Raider. What's going on?
I want to be your co-broadcaster there with you.
All right. What's going on?
Genetically modified corn.
Yeah.
I think it's getting a bit of a bad rap.
Okay,
There's so
let's hear
much propaganda. There's fear propaganda over it. What basically corn does, folks, is acts as a scrubber to the digestive system. If you eat corn, unless you're eating it in a cornmeal form, a genetically modified corn meal, then there's the possibility of absorbing those genetically modified toxins. But if you just eat a bowl of canned corn, creamed corn, mix it up with some peppers and stuff, it's virtually harmless. It goes straight through.
Karl, that's it. I'm out of time, buddy. I appreciate the point. Thanks, Karl. Have a beautiful day, man. All right, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have an awesome, wonderful, beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
Many Americans suffer from poor digestion, which can adversely affect their health.
For you guys who have digestive issues, glutathione is amazingly important for inflammatory bowel disease, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, stomach cancer. The glands of the stomach produce lots of glutathione. So glutathione's got multiple roles to play, and one of the best ways to upregulate to make more glutathione is to take the building blocks, glycine being one of the most important of the building blocks for making glutathione. Your ultimate enzymes contain something called trimethylglycine. We know it as betaine. We talk about betaine as an important ingredient for acidification, for keeping the pH of the stomach nice and low. But betaine can also help you make glutathione.
Help your body build glutathione. Order Ultimate Enzymes by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470 or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs ensures he gets the best use of his mineral supplements by using Longevity's ultimate enzymes.
If you start a nutritional supplement program and you find that you get loose stools more than you get any benefits from the supplements, there's a good chance that you're not absorbing the minerals. Now, here's the thing about minerals and mineral absorption. You need to have a functioning fat system. You need to have functioning bile. You need to have a well-functioning liver and a well-functioning gallbladder in order to get the benefits from nutritional supplements with minerals. It's very common that as we get older, we don't absorb fats, we don't utilize fats, and then you won't be utilizing or absorbing minerals either. I would be getting on the ultimate enzymes from Longevity. I'd be making sure I was taking them with all my meals.
To get optimal use of your nutritional supplements, order Ultimate Enzymes from Longevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470 or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
Attention citizens. This man has received national attention for accurately predicting every major financial trend, including the market crash of 2008. His name is Harry Dent. And in his newly released book, he is making even bigger and bolder predictions that have the potential to devastate the world economy and your personal wealth. You can get a free copy of Harry Dent's bestseller, The Demographic Cliff, containing never-before-published information by simply visiting www.harrydentresearch.com. Again, that's www.harrydentresearch.com.
Today, more than ever, it's imperative that you protect your digital privacy. EDEC Digital Forensics Signal Blocking Anti-Radiation Anti-Surveillance Faraday Bags shield the contents of your phones, tablets, and key fobs from 4G, Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth, NFC, and more. Find us at edecdf.com/radio or call us now at 805-222-4584. That's 805-222-4584. Radio listeners get 20% off your order.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline, gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com or call 800-544-3533.
Attention citizens. This man has received national attention for accurately predicting every major financial trend, including the market crash of 2008. His name is Harry Dent. And in his newly released book, he is making even bigger and bolder predictions that have the potential to devastate the world economy and your personal wealth. You can get a free copy of Harry Dent's bestseller, The Demographic Cliff, containing never-before-published information by simply visiting www.harrydentresearch.com. Again, that's www.harrydentresearch.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Nowadays, there are millions of people with old smartphones, iPads, tablets, you name it, just sitting around collecting dust. And if those are improperly disposed of, well, they contain unsafe toxic materials harmful to you and the environment. But now, these devices can be used as a painless way to help support your favorite GCN shows. Visit DonateMyCell.com. Donations are tax deductible, and if you donate 10 or more devices, you'll receive a special free gift offer. That's DonateMyCell.com. DonateMyCell.com.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Biochemistry determines your mood, memory, energy, and endurance. Your body's primary metabolic function is to make protein. One World Whey is a unique, non-denatured protein. This enables your body to have virtually 100% utilization, whereas typical whey protein powders offer no more than 18% utilization of protein. One World Whey also delivers life-giving frequencies to your cells. The net result for so many people is improved energy, mood, and elimination of pain from inflammation.
This technologically enhanced One World Whey has been really amazing for me. I'm 36 years old, and for the past several years, I've been struggling with lack of energy, drive, and stamina. And after just 2 weeks on this product, I'm feeling so much more energy. My yoga practice has deepened, and as a massage therapist, I'm able to see more clients than I've been able to in years. I've never felt results that quick with anything I've ever taken.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.